Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over Bitcoin and indices briefly because it's all important. It all goes together. I think that this is just my opinion, man. Somebody's going over Bitcoin and they're not throwing in some of what's going on a little bit with the economy and indices. It's probably not doing you too much of a service because things can change quick, especially with cryptocurrency, guys. So there's a new narrative in town. By the way, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, be really, really appreciated. So here's the deal, guys. There's a new narrative in town. Cash trap U.S. Treasury auction bills maturing in one day. And what that's supposed to do is take the liquidity out of the rest of the markets, and everything else is supposed to drop like a rock. NASDAQ, S&P 500, Bitcoin going to zero. That's a new narrative, guys. So here's the situation. I would be careful of the narrative that keeps popping out saying this narrative is going to do this based on the news, and this narrative is going to do that based on this news event, this news event, this news event. Okay. Now, could it happen? Is there a probability? Yeah, there's a possibility, but is there a probability? I guess I should say. So here's the deal. I'm going to go over the NASDAQ, guys. The NASDAQ, in my opinion, right now is running really, really hot, guys. Now, I know I keep saying there's gonna be a correction along the way, and every time I keep saying that, keeps going up, keeps melting up, melting up. Bitcoin's just hanging out. So a lot of people are getting confused. NASDAQ's going up. So then they go into their narrative, right? And the other side of the coin, right, that are bullish, like, hey, the NASDAQ's going up, S&P 500 is going up, so Bitcoin must go up along with it. And generally speaking, they would be right, but it's just not going to happen right now, guys. Okay, it's just not going to happen right now. Here's the deal with the NASDAQ. Okay. As I mentioned in previous videos, when the NASDAQ was down here, I said it's going to be going up and to the right for a lot of 2023. And it looks like that trend is going to continue after some corrections going in. Like right now, I'm looking at September, October timeframe that it's going to be doing that. Now, it's probably not going to be moving quite as much, but it's going to be up and to the right for quite some time, guys. I don't think there's going to be the massive drop over here. I think you're going to be seeing the NASDAQ getting up in here, and then over here at some point, maybe there'll be a correction. I like to say correction because a crash. Yeah, this would be a crash, I guess you'd say. Yeah, anything like that's a crash. So, you know, um, I just think the Bears are wrong. I mean, the Bears are getting smoked, guys, hard. This was a colossal for the Perma Bears. This was a colossal failure on their part. That's the problem with being a Perma Bear or a Perma Bull is you get blindsided easy. I mean, look at the this move that they missed. And hey, look, that's how the markets work. That's what makes up the market. So that's what I'm looking at with the Nasdaq, guys. And then I have I have those moving averages on there, guys, and I highly recommend using the 9, the 21, and the 40 period moving average. Okay, they're probably the most valuable moving averages that you will use in any uh, any type of trading or Bitcoin or Facebook or whatever one you're using, guys. It does work. You can see, but here it is on the this up here, the blue. That's the 21, and it's looking like it's going to be coming around like this, guys. Start coloring up, and you see the 9, and it's going to start going up like that, going into the end of the year. And here's the 40. Okay, you see right here, touch 40, touch 40, and it's looking like it's sussing itself out to make these lines, moving averages, go into a straight line somewhere in the near future. A few months down the road, guys, and getting that up there. That's probably what it's doing down there after that pretty massive correction. It's kind of like an area, sort of kind of like this in this area, guys. When it went bullish, you see how the 9 and went through there 40, and then it started to make that trend. It's kind of like a section like that. So I would be a little bit careful, jumping into some shorts. Could you make a short trade from here down, maybe down to here or something like that? I mean, there's a possibility, but like I said, guys, I would be just a little bit careful on that one. Um, on the NASDAQ. Okay. So now the other thing is too, I want to go over is the DXY. I have the DXY on the monthly chart, and the reality of with the DXY is the DXY has this leg right here on this monthly chart. Okay, guys, and it went up, and in my opinion, this is a corrective move. This whole section is a corrective move on the DXY. RSI, stochastic, all kinds of indication because it's dragging this up just ever so like this way. And I think it's going to be going up to about 105, 106. In the meantime, your commodities and Bitcoin, Bitcoin's more going along with gold, it seems like, guys. and going to be going up to 105, 106. And there's going to be for the DXY, here's that leg right here coming up like this. And this whole section, it's like a connector area. And the DXY is going to be making a trek all the way back down to this area on that 40. Something like that, guys, is what I'm surmising that's going to be happening. Okay. This definitely is like a connector area for this leg on the DXY. So I'm not saying you're going to have another one of these. I don't expect something that abrupt. I'm just looking at a slow grind, just like all the way back down here, guys, like something like that. It won't break the 40. I don't think it could, but I'm just thinking a slow thing, and that'll be good for Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin's getting out of its funk. Okay. So here's the GBTC chart on the weekly chart, guys. There's a couple areas of interest. Okay. So I've been showing you guys some supply and demand zones and fair value gaps. That does not mean that it's going there for sure. One, okay, I want to make that clear. And it's also, I want to say it's more of an area of interest. Okay, area of interest. You can see on this demand zone right here that it came down, it hit it, and it bounced out of there. Okay, so what I'm saying is that GBTC came down. Now, why am I going over GBTC? Because you're looking at this asset, guys. It's going to follow along with Bitcoin. So you have two charts, really. You have Bitcoin, you have GBTC. If this is going to be going up over here, Bitcoin, almost, I want to say 100% probability, but it's darn near that close. It's 90% probability Bitcoin is going to be going up. I don't see these two decorrelating, not one bit, because the only thing in their portfolio is Bitcoin. Now, if something happens to the asset, we don't know, for example, like some things like they may sell Bitcoin or something like that, then that's a different story. So that would be more of like an event that you don't know about, right? So like a black swan event. But so it's going up to this area. I think it's still a little bit more of an uptrend, and it's going to come down. So hit that one, and then another. Let me take that off because that's not looking good right there. Okay. And another area of interest is going to be this demand zone, okay? This massive demand zone that's coming down here too. And then there's another fair value gap right down here. Boom, hit off that. So there's two areas of interest for GBTC, okay? Now, the other thing is too, it appears, I posted this on Twitter, that this correction for GBTC and Bitcoin is going to be going into July possibly, guys, okay? So, key areas of interest is the time frame is going to be the middle to the end of June, okay, and then also going into July, okay. So it just looks like it's going to be doing a grind down to these areas, guys, okay. So I have my parallel channel all the way out here to basically that July area, and this 40 period moving average is going to be going like that, just like that, okay. And these areas right here is what I would be suspecting it to be doing something like that, get that demand, okay? And then it can get on that other one. And if you take a look at GBTC, here's a 1, 2, here's its 3. This whole thing right here is a 4, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And where do they like to come to on this area? They like to come to that fourth wave territory, guys. Okay. Fourth wave territories are good demand zones too, usually are. That's why most of the time you see it correct. So it's to be expected. So that's going to be the same thing for Bitcoin, guys, for Bitcoin. Go over Bitcoin here on a weekly chart. I know it's a messy chart right now. What I have with Bitcoin with all my lines and everything, support and resistance. It's generally speaking going to be probably the same thing. Like I said, areas of interest for Bitcoin is going to be the end of June and also going into the middle of July. And I'm checking out this on the weekly chart with this 40 period moving average is going to keep moving over in like that area, guys. Okay. And then that correlates a lot too with the DXY. That DXY just looks like it's going to be hanging out in this area, and boom, probably come up just like so, 105, maybe 106. And then it's going to start making its trek down, but it's just going to be in there like that, grinding up there more than likely, guys. I don't expect a moonshot out of the DXY, and be the same thing here with Bitcoin, guys. It looks like the DXY, for when it comes to Bitcoin, pay more attention to the DXY and the gold. I think government SEC possibly, or whoever said it, that Bitcoin's a commodity, and maybe the market is starting to treat it more like a commodity. Could be, but remains to be seen. Could be just at this period of time, and then it finishes correction going on to that way. But otherwise, so far with Bitcoin, guys, into this wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then coming up all the way up for this 5. You do want to be aware that there is a massive demand zone right there and a fair value gap. Not saying it'll go to that, because this demand zone is pretty big too, guys. You can see it's right there on the weekly chart. Okay. So it can go to 22.6 and, a whiz down to, 20,000 more or less for Bitcoin. Would not be a shocker. It would not be a shocker at all. But the thing is, I'm looking at this three-way move, and you have a three-way move and potentially maybe another, three-way move like so. It's not really Bitcoin with this type of move that it's making. It's not really setting up for, one of these, hey, I didn't want to come down there like that. It's just more like a grind to me that I think that it's going to be doing. But Bitcoin is one of these assets that really can surprise you, man. It can go a lot deeper and boom, go back down there and whiz right back up like it did over here, guys. That is a possibility. But I think if you guys want to know, I know that some people follow my channel, it's going to be boring times with Bitcoin going into June, potentially even July, but this is just going to be an opportunity. Okay. Now, Ethereum, I wanted to go over Ethereum too, guys. Ethereum is an interesting case because it just doesn't seem like Ethereum doesn't seem like it wants to correct. Okay. So I posted, not correct. I would say it doesn't seem like it wants to go down as much as Bitcoin. Looking at the, my data, my information, and the reality of it with Ethereum, guys, is that it has a lot more support on its backside than Bitcoin does. So if you think about this with Ethereum, okay. So Ethereum bottomed out here in June, over here, back here in June, and did this wave, has this massive correction. So you see this correction right here on Ethereum, okay? This type of correction is 1, 2, 3, and I think it's a connector wave there, and it came down into this three-way move, and you have that. That's kind of like what Bitcoin is doing right now, except a little bit smaller version of something like that, okay? Like a WXY move. And so Ethereum has this support back here. And it has this nice wave too, right here, right? So this is definitely an impulse move. Okay, this is open for debate, right, in this section. But either way, this is a real impulse move. And if you take a look at the moving averages right here, here's the 9, here's the 21, and here's the 40. Okay, and the reality of it is that's the look that you want when something's going bullish. The 9 on top of the 21 on top of the 40. They're all in order, right? Just like this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, like over here. I'm going to show you on Ethereum. You come over here to Ethereum, see? Okay. So it making a mess. It's in the correction. Bubble makes a mess. And then look, 9's on top of the what? Of 21 and on top of the 40. And boom, goes into trend mode, bullish mode right here. Try to attempt to do it over there. So I think with Ethereum is I'm looking at is it seems like it wants to bust down and go to the 9, this 21, and then right underneath it too. Ethereum also has the 200 moving average. You see that? And it just seems like Ethereum wants to go like this and stay like above 1700, and it has a massive demand zone right there. And then maybe it just hang out and go sideways, boom, and go like that. And looking at the ETH BTC chart, is that I don't think this is quite ready yet. I don't think it's quite ready yet, but it could be. You take it off like so, it still hasn't busted through there, even though on the logarithmic chart it looks like it's trying to make a move out of there. So what I'm saying is that can't quite put my finger on it, but something's going on here with Ethereum, guys. It really is. And this really could be good for the altcoins. Maybe I'm trying to really keep my fingers on it. There's a lot of altcoins that in my opinion that you just go with GLQ, some other coins that look like they bottomed out to me, guys. Okay. bottom out in their correction. Okay. So like this coin right here. Okay. So it hasn't hit that, is that a fair value gap? Yeah, it's a fair value gap. Hasn't really hit this. This is ISP IpsoLink. And I looked at this project, guys. This is not a bad project. Look at this right here. If you're bullish, people want to buy the bottom of Algorand. Well, look at this one right here. Boom. Here's bottom over here, came over here, test that, come back over here. And this is an impulsive move right here. Boom, 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 and come back around here. Three-way move over here. That's like a setup right there, guys. Like I put that on Twitter too. And I was like, hey guys, you might want to pay attention to that one. I'm in this coin. Don't put your life savings into these coins either, guys. Be careful of that, okay? So it can change quick. You have to realize that these can just, something can flop. But if you go look at the project of this, it doesn't appear that would happen. There's actual real people behind it and everything, guys. None of these fake profiles, and stuff like that going on. Like you don't know who they are, and those cartoon faces and all the other stuff are on there, stuff like that. Which, hey, man, cryptocurrency is going to come to someday where people are going to be a little bit more professional down the road and start putting like, here's real people behind the project, stuff like that. So, looking at some other coins is I'll go over. Okay, here's Quant. Let me go to a daily chart on Quant. Okay, and over here at the moving averages, I've shown you guys. Okay, you see there with Quant. So Quant went up there in a nice impulsive move. Okay, here's the volume down there, telling you that's more likely a third wave. Fourth wave probably went fit, didn't hit the 200 period moving average. But what I tell you to pay attention to right here, you see the 9, boom, it went right through the 21 and the 40. Okay, so more than likely, what that's telling you, these moving averages actually work. I can show you guys. We'll walk through this whole thing, and it can come back down. Here's the 40, here's the 9, boom, 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 right over in this area, right back down to this area, and then Quant. At a minimum, you have a little trade down here, and then Quant will probably do another one of these just like that, guys. So when Bitcoin is trending down, right, and then Bitcoin doesn't go down in a straight line, it'll do a little correction over here, and then Quant will go boom, 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 boom when Bitcoin's doing that, and then Bitcoin's got to go down again, just like that, guys, okay? Something like that. Doesn't usually go according to plan, so, be able to flip. Oh, this Shield protocol, what's going on here? Came down and hit the 40, man. Rip right out of there. Huh. So I'm coming down, man. I'm getting greedy. You see what happened? I'm getting greedy. And then this coin, I was waiting for it to come down there. As you see what happened? Boom. It ripped back up. All right, guys. You can't win them all. You know what I'm saying? You can't win them all, but it's all right, man. Like this freaking coin, man. Let's see. I might have missed it. I might have missed this one. So like, you gotta go find another one, right? You gotta go find another one. So let's see. What are some other coins too? Looking at Viacoin, guys, this coin right here, I was like looking at this on a monthly chart. I showed it to people on Twitter. It's like, look at this chart, guys. Like, people are like, it ain't going anywhere. It's all book going to zero. Maybe it'll come down, hit that fair value gap to 0.4 cents, guys. It's a really huge, not only demand area, this fair value gap in that area. That chart is like looking really, really good, guys. It's like, okay, you think it's going to zero, hey, go for it. I mean, I don't know what else to do to convince you of that situation right there, guys. But it's like blast up, and you can see it's real slow in the area. It's giving off signals that it's doing a correction, and it's not wanting to go like this and stuff like that. But look pretty good, resting on that 9-period moving average on the monthly. So it looks pretty good, guys. So I was just saying, I want to show you some examples, some of these other coins that are kind of like bottoming out, like Quant, or some ones. It looks like Optimism right here. So you can see, look on that fair value gap. What did it do? Boom! It hit it right there on top of that. These gaps and supply zones and demand zones, guys, they freaking work. They work with Bitcoin better than you can do Elliott waves. Like I said, I don't trade Elliott waves, guys. I use Elliott waves to find a trend. Okay. And one of the things with Optimism, you see the shape that's in right there. This is the shape that I think possibly it's going on. I think you got a lot of move here, then move here, back down in this area possibly, and then it might go do another one like this, guys. So another one like this, like you might get another move like so, 250%, something like that with Optimism is what I'd be checking out, guys. I think it's doing a shape like that. This starting diagonal, it'll come back up here and it'll probably correct back down here again and then go into another one. Something like that, guys, okay? So that's what I'm checking out. The other thing is too, you want to be concerned with more. Let's go on to the negative side. is, the cryptocurrency market right now is real illiquid. So it's not moving. It can be erratic, quick up and downs in the market. It comes down, boom, sideways and boom, boom, sideways, stuff like that. And to the downside, it's sideways, dropped sideways. So it's real illiquid. Okay. So you want to be, aware of that, something like that. So like I said, guys, going over Bitcoin is, the deal is with it. Here it is on the monthly chart. Is I'm looking at it to get down to these areas. End of June, end of June, you want to pay attention. And then this could go into July. And one of the reasons I'm saying that is that DXY is looking like it's going to hang out in here, kind of doing a little uptrend up into July and then come back down. The USTT dominance chart, I think, is a real important chart too, guys. Be checking out USTT dominance chart. I check in this, and then I think it's actually going to be trying to make a trek up to my box, like 8.29%, while Bitcoin goes down. And then I think you're going to be getting, it's just doing a weird thing. It's almost like the DXY getting up into there, and then you see this move right here, and move right here, and it's getting back up into there, and then you're probably going to have another one of these moves right over here. So that little gap, this area right here, and it might get down to here in those areas. So if it makes a move like that, not saying that it will, but that's what I'm kind of expecting. You got this massive candle here and a grind. It's grind all the way up. And then it'll start doing another one of those like that over there, guys. It's what I'm checking out. Okay. I think that's what's be going on. All lines up for me. It's just going to have to be a little bit more of a patient waiting game. There's some good setups on some of these altcoins, guys. I know the whole narrative is that Bitcoin is going to be blasting up, taking over the market. And, here's the BTC dominance chart. And, there's always that chance, guys. But it's just, to me, it's looking like Ethereum is the one that's going to be here pretty soon. And the next couple months is the one to be like leading the pack, if you will. It's kind of where it's looking like it's possibly could be happening. Just because if you take a look at Ethereum, all the support that is behind Ethereum from here. So Bitcoin bottomed in November, but Ethereum bottomed in June. So Ethereum has all this. Look at that massive monthly candle. Boom. And then all this right here, that candle, all the moving averages, 200 weekly. I'm on the monthly, but the 9 to 20, 1 to 40, the 200 period moving averages. And Ethereum is already, it's like this, boom, 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 going in and trying to make that shape where this 9 is probably going to be trying to go up like that, guys, over, who knows, going in 2023 or even into, 2024. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.